mobility is about the information that is on those devices, because that is what is sensitive, that is what you are trying to protect, and that is the important part. So you need to look at mobility from an information-centric point of view. The third thing is you need to enforce more holistically, which means you need to be able to figure out who is accessing and what do you allow him to access, and that you need to have the tools to be able to do it. The fourth is, when mobile devices try to access things in your company, do you even know about it? So you need to manage it more actively. You cannot secure something that you do not have visibility to. And finally, you need to think more strategically, which means you need to figure out how you can go from where you are to where you have to be, and what are the steps that you need to take your organization through. Because it includes not only tools, security tools and management tools of the kind that we sell, but it also means having policies in place and figuring out the legal ramifications to put in place, for example, when an employee brings his own device to work. Yeah, so there are different kinds of security solutions that are specifically focused at the problem areas that I talked about. So I can give you one example. I mean, the one example of an application that we recently launched is what we call our DLP for the iPad. Now, DLP stands for data loss prevention. Like I told you, the biggest issue in mobile devices is that you can lose them or they can get easily stolen because they are small and you carry it with you all the time, right? So what DLP with mobile devices does is it allows you to, at a company level, figure out what kind of information you are allowing to go to the iPad and what kind of devices you do not want to allow. So basically, we can set policies and you can figure out and limit data that can actually travel to those mobile devices. So the pricing usually is a very complex structure. So for the same kind of software, usually, depending on how many licenses you buy, what kind of a company you are and how you use it, the pricing will vary usually. And that's common for most enterprise products. Piracy is a different issue, of course. I mean, piracy is a problem that we deal with. I mean, it's an issue that we are increasingly seeing a positive upward trend in. So I'm happy that it's going in the right direction. Yeah, no, that's a very good point, because security is a very specific kind of space, unlike any other software space, right? Because in the world of security, you are not only solving a problem, you are actually trying to fight against another human adversary, which means that they are always finding newer loopholes to get to the sensitive information and get to important information that you have. And therefore, you have to constantly stay a step ahead. So most of the kind of software that we sell is not only the software, but there is constant amount of content updates that go in, intelligence updates that go in, which makes sure that the latest threats are always being tackled.